Hey everybody. Quite a few of you were worried that my little break would probably take, what, a month? Not to be disrespectful to the situation at hand, but I'm pretty sure that losing Granny is a little bit more detrimental than losing Kiki. Even though it was still quite sad, I don't think I need a month. I took a little bit of time, had a little cry. I think I'm better now. I want to say thank you to everyone that had something nice to say on my video. I want to say that it's very much appreciated, the kind words that I've had on not only that video but on Facebook as well. I didn't have as many shitheads as I thought I would. I actually only had one person, to my knowledge, that actually had something bad to say. And if I'm not too lazy, I'll throw up a screen capture of what he had to say so you guys can see the comment. I had figured this guy was a troll. And he had said dumb things before, like at one point he's like, everything you have was given to you. Yeah, because I never bought the Xbox One or the PS4. I never worked for any of the games I have. No, everything was given to me. I didn't buy any of this. You're a fucking idiot. He also made a comment, I think a few weeks ago, your channel is a failure. This coming from the guy with 4 subscribers and no videos. My channel's doing a lot better than yours, mate. My channel's doing a lot better than yours. But anywho, if this faggot decides he wants to comment ever again, he'll learn that he is actually banned from the channel. You're not going to be able to comment anymore. Only thing that will happen is I'll get a notification saying, hey, this faggot tried to comment, and nobody's going to see you anymore on my channel. Because you're just a cunt. You saw an opportunity to say something mean to me, and you did, and I banned you. So, yeah. I feel pretty good about that one. But for those of you that had something nice to say, I really do appreciate it. It's good to know that I can count on people to have kind words at least for me when something bad happens. And I'm feeling better. It seems like it's been really fucked up lately because after what happened with Kiki, I think someone on my friends list liked something Pet MD, so everything on my Facebook feed has been cat. How to tell when your cat's in pain. How to tell your cat loves you. How to tell your cat's a part of the family. And I'm like, fuck, can you please stop? Not only that, but my subconscious has been fucking with me as well. I keep having dreams about cats. Sometimes they look like Kiki, sometimes they don't. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh. So it's been a pretty shitty situation overall, and I've been depressed, but I don't need a month-long break. This will be just fine right here. I had thought about what kind of a video to come back with. I had thought about talking about depression in video games. If that topic seems interesting to you, me talking about depression, how to deal with it, and how to use games as a coping mechanism to make you feel better about your anxiety and your guilt and all these things. If that sounds like an interesting topic, let me know what you think of it. If you want to see it, I'll go ahead and upload a video like that in the future. But over my break, I played a game, and you already know it because the title's on the video. But I know I still point up sometimes. The title's actually down. But I played a game over the break, and having the issues I was having with Kiki, it kind of depressed me. But I persevered, and I played through it, and I found quite a beautiful game. Quite a difficult game, but quite a beautiful game. So I figured today I would talk about Ori and the Blind Forest. You can consider this a review if you want. You know I don't do reviews. But this is a lovely little game, and I want to talk about it. When I have interest in a video game, I usually try to avoid spoilers for that video game. For instance, I didn't want to watch anything from some of my friends' reviews or videos or any streams or whatever of Outlast 2 because I wanted to play Outlast 2. And you guys got my raw unhindered reactions to Outlast 2. All I knew about Ori and the Blind Forest was that it was a side-scrolling platformer that was exclusive to the Xbox One. I had no idea that it was a Metroidvania-style game. I had no idea how difficult it would be, and I had no idea how beautiful a story it had to tell. This game is actually really fantastic, so if you're one of those too long didn't read types, I can say right now, if you have an Xbox One, go buy this. Seriously, go buy it. Trust me. If you don't have an Xbox One, I don't consider this to be a system seller, but if you've been sitting there going, I want to get an Xbox One, I want to play Sunset Overdrive and Gears 4 and Halo 5, and you've got Dead Rising 3 and Dead Rising 4. I want to get an Xbox One, but I don't know. Let Ori and the Blind Forest be the tipping scale point for you getting an Xbox One, because it's actually a genuinely good game. I had no idea what I was in for, and there's just so much that I want to go over, but I also don't want to spoil too terribly much. So, first and foremost, Ori and the Blind Forest is a Metroidvania-style game. You will traverse a beautiful world. You have a map screen, you have collectibles to find, you have upgrades to unlock, you have a skill tree that you'll be able to pour points into. No, it's not an RPG, but it's still got a skill tree with points to be poured into. And you will face off against some of the most challenging and exhilarating platforming puzzles that I've seen in a while. There are moments in the game where it has puzzles that will test your wit, and there are moments in the game where it has these type of platforming escape sequences that will test your quick thinking, your agility, and your ability to react under pressure. Which, considering the number of times I died, I'm not very good at it. When I say Ori and the Blind Forest is a difficult game, I mean it. This game really does kind of trick you. You look at the cover and you think, oh, that's cute, that's got to be something fun for kids. No, don't let a child play this, okay? Unless you want to see how quickly a kid can throw a controller, don't let a child play this. This game is challenging. It is difficult, but it is also rewarding. In that way, I feel it's kind of like Dark Souls, except it's killed me way more times than any single Dark Souls has ever killed me. And I say it killed me a lot because it actually has a counter that keeps track of how many times you have died. So if you guys want to play a fun little game with me now, try to guess how many times I died. No, don't go into double digits. You'll be nowhere near close and you'll waste your guess. Triple digits. Try to guess. The one that gets the closest, I'll pin your comment and you can have that type of notoriety for everyone to see. And no, Adam, you can't guess because I already told you how many times I died, so you keep your mouth shut. But Ori and the Blind Forest is a very challenging game, but it's also a very beautiful game that has a lot to offer. The reason I felt like talking about Ori and the Blind Forest after my break is because Ori and the Blind Forest is a depressing game. It has a lot of different themes going on in it. It's got despair, it has loss, it has depression, but it also has hope, and it has just this beautiful underlying sense of accomplishment. Ori and the Blind Forest to me represents a scenario where you pick up the broken pieces after something bad has happened, put them back together, and move on. And in that way, it kind of resonates with me after the situation that occurred with Kiki. It's a lovely, lovely game. What I'm about to discuss is not a spoiler. It happens within the first moments of the game, but I just want to give you guys an idea of how this game begins. When Ori and the Blind Forest starts, you're introduced, of course, to two characters. Ori is the little white furball that you play as, and in a way, that reminded me of Kiki as well. The black creature with the white face is called Nayru. Ori and Nayru come together under unusual circumstances, and Nayru adopts Ori, again reminding me of my relationship with my cat. You see through visual aid how they live together, they laugh together, and they work together. You see that the forest, however, is slowly dying. Ori represents a piece of light from this great tree in the center of the forest that represents, light and life and hope. And since Ori left, and since a situation occurred where a giant, evil-looking owl attacked the tree and stole the light from it, the forest has been dying. You see visually how Nayru is marking trees with an X to indicate there's no more fruit to be had. And through a series of events, it shows how the forest around them is dying, and there's less and less fruit, there's less and less food. During a gameplay sequence, you as Ori go out to collect an armful of fruit. You just grab it up and you carry it back to Nayru. When you come back to Nehru's home, Nayru is sitting against a rock. Ori drops the fruit at her feet and she doesn't move. Ori nudges her and she doesn't move. Nayru is dead. In the first few minutes of this game, it introduced me to two lovable characters and then took one of them away from me. I feel this resonates with what happened to me in the real world. And it was really kind of depressing. I myself have always been kind of emotional. A lot of people will be like, your butt hurt, you're sensitive. Probably. But I find oftentimes when I watch stuff and it's something emotional, it gets to me a lot more than other people. I don't know what kind of neurological disorder you could call that. If you want an indication of what I'm talking about, who here has seen the movie Up? The movie Up, with the balloons and the old man. The first few minutes of Up made me cry because it was just so emotional, showing the tale of this man and his wife, and they couldn't have children, and she passed away, and he was left all alone. That made me cry. And Ori and the Blind Forest gave me the exact same sense of loss at the beginning of it. From that moment on, Ori is thrust into an adventure. Ori travels throughout the forest, trying to reestablish the elements and trying to revive the forest, fight back the darkness, and bring hope back to the forest. And it was just a beautiful adventure. There are so many things in this game that I found myself just jaw agape at, because it was not only beautiful, the art style is amazing. The game does not look anything like what you would think it would look like. Like, looking at the cover of it and looking at the back, you think, oh, that's pretty, those are some nice artwork renditions. No, that's what the game looks like. It looks kind of like a pastel painting. It's beautiful. And there are themes that are in this game that make you really question a lot of different things. For instance, and I don't know if this would be considered a spoiler, so what I'm going to do is I don't like to edit, I'll hold up my hand and talk about what could be a possible spoiler, and if you want to mute it, you can, or whatever, that's up to you. So we're about to go into what could possibly be a spoiler, but I'm going to be very light on it. Alright? There's a moment in the game where you meet up with this creature. It has stolen something important, and you have to track it down. Now, I thought this creature would just be an enemy, would be another creature to kill, to stop, some dark thing. I had no idea that this creature actually represented a species that lived in this forest. Either way, you chased it through its lair, and it had this sinister look on it the entire time. You chased it through its lair, it activated traps trying to kill you, and at one point it gets caught in rubble when it tries to activate another trap. And here's the moment where Ori and the Blind Forest really shocked me. Because Ori isn't my character, Ori is their own character, I'm just playing the game. They helped this creature. They pulled the rubble off of it and set it free. And this instilled hope in it, and instilled hope in me. It returned not only what it had stolen, but later in the game, it did something that I didn't expect. With its own newfound hope, it did something that I thought was amazing. And I didn't expect it to happen. I don't want to tell you what it did, but hopefully that intrigues you enough to where you'll play the game and see. It's just interesting to me how Ori and the Blind Forest can take a situation like that, and characters like that, and really surprise me as a gamer. I found this game to be quite the experience. A lot of people might be like, well, Brett, is it as good as Super Metroid? I've never gotten to play Super Metroid. Well, is it as good as Castlevania Symphony of the Night? I'd say it's definitely as good as Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The gameplay, the story, the mechanics, the abilities you unlock, the skills you empower. It's just a good game. Difficult, yes. Challenging, understandably so. But I wouldn't have kept playing it if I wasn't having fun. For every moment of frustration when I felt like quitting, for every time that it killed me about, 9 times in a row in the same section, I thought to myself, you can get through this. You need to get through this, because you want to see how this story ends. And overall, I had a blast playing Ori and the Blind Forest, and I thank Adam for sending it to me. This game was a beautiful experience. Oftentimes people argue whether or not video games can represent art. I think that Ori and the Blind Forest definitely represents art in one of its purest forms. You need to play this. I think it's depressing that it's only on the Xbox One, but at the same time, I don't know what could be done about that. I think it's also on PC, maybe, so if you have a PC, I recommend you play it on PC if you don't want to buy an Xbox One. But I think it would be great if PS4 players and Switch and Wii U players could also experience this beautiful little game. Like, I could imagine Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch on the go. That'd be great. Could you imagine me, like, on a bus cursing because I died again? If I were to recommend any edition, it would definitely be the Definitive Edition. You can download the regular edition, I'm sure, and this actually comes with both editions, so you can double down on your achievements if you want. I've played through the Definitive Edition, and I'm going to go back through on the regular edition just to get the achievements. But the Definitive Edition adds not only some new story elements, but it adds an entire new area to explore. And it's just great. The story in this game is great. The visual storytelling is amazing. There's things in this game that you need to experience. And it's difficult, yes, but I promise you can get through it. And after lots of trial and error, it'll click and you'll know what to do. I want to say thank you again to Adam for sending this to me. And not only that, but I think you sent it to me either a few days before or a few days after they announced that there would be a sequel. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I, for one, am going to be ready to get Will of the Wisps as soon as possible. Maybe not day one, if I have money, maybe, but I can't wait to play that and get my ass kicked by it all over again. Ori's a great game. It helped me with my own depression in a time of need. It made me feel better about my sense of loss. And there was something that was said in Ori and the Blind Forest. Now, I might butcher it exactly how it was said, but I'm going to try and repeat it here. If you remember those who are lost, they will live forever. And I think that's very appropriate. It's a beautiful game. It helped me through my own depression, helped me through my own loss. And I think that you guys should check it out as well. It's just a good fucking game. It's difficult, it's challenging, it's rewarding. And it's definitely up there. If I were to put it on any type of top list, it would definitely be up there. Have you played Ori and the Blind Forest? If you have, I want to know what you thought of it. Did you have an experience similar to mine? Did you play Ori in a time when you were down? Did it uplift you? Did it enrage you? If you haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest, again, I recommend you check it out. If nothing else, I recommend you watch someone else play it, because it is an experience worth having. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've got something out of it. And I hope to see you in a few more videos very soon. I'm going to go back to trying to upload daily. We'll see how long that lasts. So if you like the video, drop me a thumbs up. If you hope that I die again horribly in purple muck water, like Ori kills me all the time, go ahead and drop a thumbs down. And do take care. It's just a beautiful game.